Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. For anyone new here, hi, I'm Jenna. I love to crochet plushies, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. For today's video, we are doing a super fun Q&A session. Thank you so much for everyone who asked me a question on Instagram. I was literally blown away by all of the questions that I got, so I'm gonna try and answer as many as I can. But thank you guys so much for asking, and if I didn't answer your question, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram and I will directly answer your question on there. Also, I just wanted to pause and say two things. Yes, this crochet sweater is the one that I made. I'll link down below the video of me making it, but yes, this is my very own creation, and I thought, like, what better outfit to wear during a Q&A session about my crochet business than a crochet sweater that I made myself. And secondly, you're probably wondering, wow, Jenna, you look different. I can't put my finger on it. Well, I actually got new glasses, so that is probably why I look a little different. May I even say a little better? And that actually brings us into today's sponsor. I wanted to give a huge shout out and thank you to GlassesUSA.com for sponsoring this video. If you didn't already know, GlassesUSA.com is one of the largest eyewear retailers in the United States, and they offer thousands of different eyeglasses and sunglasses from brands such as Oakley, Ray-Bans, and Gucci. What's best about GlassesUSA.com is that their glasses start at only $39, which is up to 70% off retail price. If you love the frames that I'm about to show you, there's actually a crazy exclusive offer going on right now for my followers by clicking on the links in the description box below. One of the great things about GlassesUSA.com is that they offer a wide variety of advanced blue light lenses, and that was something that I was most excited about because I work from home full time, so my glasses definitely needed to have blue light lenses. It's also really important to note that I have probably worn the same pair of glasses for the past like 10 years. Like, I am extremely picky, so when I saw that GlassesUSA.com has a live try on option, I was really excited because I'm the type of person who needs to see myself in glasses before picking them out, especially when shopping online. The live try on was seriously such a lifesaver. I used it to try on all of the different frames that I was interested in, and it was super helpful. With all this being said, GlassesUSA.com is actually offering a crazy exclusive discount to my followers that can be used on top of any of their existing coupons on their website right now, and it's only available for 24 hours. All of the details are in the description box below, so click on the links to get all the juicy details. But once again, I just wanted to say thank you so much to GlassesUSA.com for sponsoring today's video. Alright, so now for the Q&A. I have all of the questions here on my Instagram. Like, you guys really showed up. I am shocked at all the questions. Like, I'm gonna try and get through all of them, but like there's a lot of questions overlap, so I'm gonna try and bucket them all together so we can get through as many as possible. Alright, so Not So Cute Plushies asked me, do you use boxes or poly mailers to ship your plushies? Funny you asked. So when I first started my business, I started out with poly mailers just because they were cheaper, and at the time I offered free shipping, so any of the shipping costs, including the shipping materials, came out of my pocket. So I tried to keep costs down, so poly mailers is a great, cheap way to ship plushies. The only downside to it is that sometimes the plushies become a little deformed in shipment just because they're getting tossed around in the mail bags in the mail truck. So I sometimes saw review photos from customers and the plushie is deformed, and I never really received any complaints from my customers about how they received the plushie, but I just wasn't happy with that. So when I stopped offering free shipping and my customers started paying for their own shipping, that is when I switched over, and I now use cardboard boxes for shipping my items. Sometimes I use poly mailers if it's like a super large plushie or an abnormally shaped plushie, but for the most part I use cardboard boxes now. Oh my gosh, Not So Cute Plushies asked me a few questions, so thank you so much, girl. She also asked, how did I meet my husband? My husband and I both grew up in a small town in New Jersey, and we went to high school together. He was a grade above me though, but it was a pretty small high school, so everyone knew everybody. I wouldn't even say we were friends in high school. We were just like acquaintances. We knew of each other, but we lived separate lives. It was actually after high school when we both graduated. We were both home on college break. He reached out to me on social media, and it was history from there. Green Gable Crochet asked if I would ever feel comfortable sharing my profit margins and that they're very inspired by me. First off, thank you so much. It makes me super happy to know that you guys find what I do inspiring. Like, that's the whole point of me starting this YouTube channel. I want more people to get into crochet, to launch their small business, and to just find inspiration. So that makes me so happy. In terms of sharing my profit margins, yes, I am 100% for financial transparency. I love helping out other small business owners, and I love sharing like facts. I find financial transparency is super, super helpful, especially when you run your own small business. So I don't know if you guys have seen my Etsy tips and tricks video, but I kind of share some of my overall lifetime sales there. But I do plan on making a future video where I break down my specific profits, so that takes into account like all the Etsy fees, shipping, material costs, etc. So look for a video like that in the future. But I am 100% for financial transparency. Riley Babson asked, why did I choose the profile picture that I did? I think they are referring to my Instagram profile picture. It's just something that I mocked up myself just for fun. I thought it'd be fun to keep like a cartoonsy-esque profile picture, but maybe I'll change it to a picture of myself, and maybe I'll kind of have it match my YouTube profile picture, which is me hugging my large turtle. Rack13 asked, what is my favorite thing to crochet? I love crocheting everything, honestly. Like, every time I make a new plushie, I'm like, this is my favorite thing to crochet. Like, it's really hard. Like, I just love crocheting in general. Like, I have no favoritism. Everything is my favorite. Audrey's Crochet Castle said, how did you find your aesthetic for your business? And OMG, I love your style and everything. Oh, Audrey, you're just so sweet. Audrey and I are good friends on Instagram. I just started making plushies that I thought were cute. Like, I didn't plan out any specific aesthetic, and I feel like my aesthetic is very like cutesy and velvet. I am definitely like a velvet queen. I love velvet yarn, and I think I established that aesthetic just because I loved using velvet yarn. Like, it is probably my most favorite yarn to use because it's just so easy and smooth to crochet with. It doesn't hurt my hands. I don't get crampy. I can use velvet yarn all day. So honestly, it just came naturally. Marza, I'm so bad at pronouncing Instagram handles. I'm sorry if I botch yours. Marzan asked, have I ever crocheted tops or bags? So I've never crocheted a bag. I definitely want to crochet a tote bag or like a little mini bag. That is definitely a future project I want to do when I free up. I have made a crochet tank top. I made that last year. It was super fun. It was slightly too big and I used the wrong type of yarn. So I definitely want to remake that tank top using cotton yarn and kind of tailor it to the correct size. Maddie Beaner asked if I can show you guys how I store all of my yarn and my supplies, and she loves all my content. Oh, thank you so much, Maddie. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, my crochet office slash studio is a hot mess right now. I'm embarrassed even for myself. I consider myself a pretty organized person. My studio right now is not organized at all. Like, there is yarn all over, packages. I'm just so unhappy with it. We also have a guest room in our house where I have this chair and it has probably like 20 skeins of yarn just sitting on it. So I plan on doing a studio slash office makeover video to get me back on track and to really force me to be organized. So I'll definitely be sharing that all with you guys in a future video. But right now she is not pretty. There is no organization. Mama Bear Crochet YO, she asked a similar question. She's like, how do I stay organized? Do I use a specific app? Help, please. In terms of like organizing what I need to get done for the day, I'm very old-fashioned. I have a blank notebook and I always write down a list of orders that I need to do throughout the day, and crossing things off physically, like, it does something for me that makes me so happy and satisfied. So yeah, I'm very old-fashioned. I just try and make a list every single day and try and cross as many things off as I can. Crafty Creations _ Terry asks, what is my least favorite thing to do while crocheting? So my least favorite thing is to sew. Oh my goodness, when I first started I was like, oh, I love sewing, like, why does everyone hate it? Now, a year into crocheting, I understand the pain and why no one likes to sew. It's just like so satisfying once you finish all of the body parts to a plushie, but then having to do that extra step of sewing them all together, it just gets you sometimes. It just like defeats you. Also, the room for error of sewing a piece on incorrectly or crooked is so high, and it can completely botch your project. So there's that as well. Like, you spend all this time making these plushie parts and they look amazing, but if you sew them on bad or poorly, the whole project is ruined. So that is definitely my least favorite part of crocheting. Also, guys, this is just so much fun. Like, thank you so much for asking me questions. You guys are the best. You guys are my biggest supporters, and I am truly so thankful for you guys. Lauren Lou 222 asked, how do I build an Instagram page for my small business? I literally started from 0 followers. I just created this Instagram page because I didn't want to bog up my personal Instagram. And honestly, my rule of thumb is every time I crochet something, take a picture of it and take a video of it. And that way you start building up a good collection of videos and pictures that you can post on your page. But yeah, I think having a nice like cohesive logo and kind of like having all of your important links on your page are super important as well. And then just trying to follow other people in the crochet community, that can definitely help build up your page and get you kind of established in that space. Kylie Crochets asked, how did you learn to make patterns? Honestly, this is something that just comes with time. Like you start getting familiar with like what increased stitches look like, what decreased stitches look like, how, you know, half double crochets impact the shape of your plushie, etc. And then you just start like toying around with the different combinations, and that's just how I personally learned how to make patterns. It definitely took some time, and last year when I first started crocheting, I was like, how do people make patterns? Like it just seemed like a different language to me, and it truly is a different language. So just getting accustomed and used to all the different stitches and what they do and how they shape your work, that is key to learning how to write your own patterns. Kaifa07 asked, how did I learn how to crochet? I am self-taught and I learned on YouTube. Literally, YouTube is such a great resource to people who want to learn how to start crocheting. There's so many good videos on basic stitches and how to get started. So for anyone who wants to get started, I cannot recommend YouTube and Google enough. Like a lot of the videos are free and it is definitely a great way to start. Oh wow, they asked me actually a lot of questions. So they asked, how long have I been crocheting for? I started back in January of 2022. It was my New Year's resolution hobby. My mom got me a crochet kit for Christmas and I just kind of took off from there. I completely fell in love with it. My first crochet project was a turtle, and I think someone else asked like, can I show one of my first projects and like one of my projects back in the day? Let me go get my turtle. I have kept him to this day. He is a great reminder to show me how far I've come, and also he's just really cute. Even though he's kind of like ugly, he's cute. He will always have a place in my heart. Let me go get him. Okay, I hope no one laughs at him, but here he is. This is my first ever crochet plushie. Look at him, look at the eyes. Oh my god, it's, wait, why isn't the camera focusing? Focus. There we go. Like guys, look at him, look at his eyeballs. Why does he have human eyes? And like the shell is like completely like messed up. Like there's no bulge. And like the fins, I had truly no idea what I was doing with the increases when making this. I think I put like 5 single crochet into 1 stitch and I was like, oh, I guess I'm increasing. But look, he's so cute. I think it's really cool that my first ever crochet project was a turtle, because turtles are like one of my top sellers and something that I make almost every single day. So I just find it really cool that my first project was a crochet turtle. Grow_with_Tiff asked, organization, how do you keep track of hook sizes, etc.? Love all of your content. Oh, thank you so much, Tiff. I kind of went over organization before, but in terms of like keeping track of like what hook size I use for each plushie, I keep a running track in my phone on my notes app, like, oh, jumbo turtle, 9mm hook, regular size turtle, 5mm hook, and I just keep track of that on my phone. Whenever I make a new plushie, I just like jot it down just so I'll know what hook I use, because there have been many times in the past where I'm like, crap, I need to remake a plushie, but I forget what hook size I used. So definitely try and keep like a running list somewhere on your phone or a notebook, just so you can always go back to like your master list. She also asked, what degree did I get? So I recently just graduated with my Master's of Science in Project Management from George Washington University. I also got my undergrad degree at GW, and I got my Bachelor of Science in Economics with a minor in Statistics. So how that ties into crochet, I really don't know. I guess it helps kind of with like running a business. No, not really. I'm just one of those people who have a degree and don't really use it. Emmy Beads asked, how long did it take for my business to take off? Honestly, I opened my Etsy shop in February of last year, and I did start getting sales like the first month that I opened my shop, which is super amazing. I'm super thankful, and it's been such a ride, honestly. I think my Etsy shop really started blowing up though Christmas of last year. So like the November, December, January timeframe, like my sales were crazy. Like I was getting maybe like 5, 6, 7 orders a day, and I think like January was my biggest month where I brought in maybe like $6,000 in sales in like a single month, and I probably like crocheted over 100 plushies in that time frame. I don't know how these hands still work, honestly. Jess Gardy asked, do I have any tips for people who are new to crochet and how to best read the patterns? So kind of like I said earlier, reading patterns is a language all in itself. I found it super helpful to watch YouTube videos at first where they have like each round of the pattern step by step, and it kind of gets you used to learning like, oh, R1 stands for round 1, and then kind of like all the abbreviations, because if you just go into reading a pattern as a complete beginner, it is super, super overwhelming, and it's so easy to get lost. It's so easy to lose track. So I think like following a YouTube video step by step is really the way to go to kind of get your brain used to thinking in crochet language, and then you can kind of pick up a book or any other pattern you buy online and read it straight down. M Crochet ILY asked, how much time do I commit to fulfilling orders, business related things on a daily basis? You know how people say when you have like a small business or a side hustle, you don't work 9 to 5 anymore. You really work like a 24/7, and like that is so true. Between like answering people on Insta and replying to YouTube videos, I do that constantly throughout the day so it doesn't build up. In terms of like making plushies, I do a lot of my work after work hours, after my full-time job, and then on the weekends. On the weekends, I probably dedicate like a good 5 to 6 hours of just strictly making and fulfilling orders. And then I'd say like after my 9 to 5, I crochet like 5 to 10. Like it's a lot of work, and I think the only reason I'm able to sustain it is because I love what I do. I literally love making every single plushie. I really, really, really love crochet. I love making these videos, so I think that's how I've been able to sustain it for this long. Otherwise, it would just be completely too much. If you don't want to do what I do in terms of this time commitment, you can definitely like limit yourself. You can put a cap on the number of sales that you want to make, the number of plushies that you have available. You can stage your shop in drops, etc. This is just kind of the way I went about it. I might be like restructuring in the future, but for right now it's worked for me and I really enjoy it, so I'm like try and keep going. Random account 806 asked what plushies I make for markets. You should totally check out my market prep video. I'll link it below. That video takes you guys through everything I made for my first market, and then also I have a market results video that goes into what sold, what didn't sell, how much I made, etc. Clemens61 said, no question, but I love your videos and your octopus pattern. You guys are so sweet. Literally, thank you so much. It brings me so much happiness whenever I read a comment or get a message like that. Like, I'm so glad you guys enjoy. Pretty Sick Crochet asked, taxes? So that's partly why I decided to stay on Etsy instead of like opening up my own website. There was a time where I was like, I'm gonna open my own website, I'm gonna break away from Etsy, but then I realized taxes is such a beast and I do not have the physical capacity to deal with that, nor do I want to get in trouble legally. So I am staying on Etsy because Etsy literally does all of that for you. They take out sales tax, they generate that tax form at the end of the year, everything is done for you. So the Etsy fees are high, but it is the price that I'm willing to pay and sacrifice to have that luxury of not having to worry about taxes. Pretty Sick Crochet also asked, how do I distinguish myself from the other thousands of crocheters? Honestly, I don't know. Like, I think this goes back to Audrey's question of like, how do you build your aesthetic? How do you build your brand? Honestly, just start out by making plushies that you truly enjoy, and then you'll eventually find your own style and niche as time goes on. Like if you start experimenting with different yarns, like say you start making plushies in acrylic yarn and you realize you don't really like how they're turning out and you switch to Chanel yarn, and then you're like, wait, I really love how these are turning out. And then say you keep making some and you start making mini plushies with Chanel yarn and you're like, I really love minis, and then you start just focusing on minis. That's kind of how your style and reputation evolve. You just kind of find yourself while experimenting with all these different plushies and yarns. So that's my number one advice. Like, just try everything. Try all the different patterns, try all the different yarns, and then just stick with like what you love making the most. Meg's Crochet Crafts asked, what is my best seller? My best seller is definitely my turtle plushies. My turtle plushies are something that I love making. I know I can produce a large amount of them in a short amount of time, so order turnaround isn't a problem for me, and there's so much you can customize with turtles. Also, wait, do you see Callie? She's flipping her bed. She must be angry at me. Callie will literally flip her bed whenever she's like, I'm mad, I want attention. Moody, Callie, you're so moody. Juno's down in the forest asked, please make a video tutorial on how to crochet a strawberry. I definitely want to make more video tutorials in the future. A lot of you guys have been asking for more plushie tutorials, more like basic introduction to crochet tutorials. So I hear you guys. I am definitely going to try and make as many tutorials that I can. So definitely stay tuned. Abigail Clay 234 asked, have I ever thought about stopping my Etsy business? This is something I definitely want to do for a long time. I love making plushies. As I said so many times, I sound like a broken record at this point, but no, I really love making plushies, and I definitely don't want to stop selling them anytime soon. I definitely need to realign my strategy and kind of my business plan to not overburden myself and like burn myself out, because right now I definitely took on way too many pre-orders, and I'm currently like swamped with orders where I'm trying to get my footing. So I definitely have to think about that in the future, but I will continue doing this hopefully for a very long time. But okay, that is the last question that I'm gonna answer in this video. Please reach out to me on Instagram if I didn't answer your question. I would love to answer it for you on there. Thank you guys so much for watching and for asking me questions, and I definitely wanna do more Q&A sessions in the future. I just wanted to say thank you so much again to GlassesUSA.com for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to check out the links in the description box below for a super exclusive offer that can be used on top of any of the existing discount codes going on right now on their website. It's only available for 24 hours, so definitely go check it out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!